Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, we've got a really special guest, someone that I really like a lot. Me and him have talked and became friends, and he's a really awesome, amazing guy. And he is a filmmaker and an actor. And he has two horror films that are coming out called The Bell Keeper and Sketch. And he also has a role in The Sex Lives of College Girls. And I am talking about the horror master himself, Colton Tran. And I'm really looking forward to bringing him back on the show and talking about what's going on. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host of Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room. And my interview with Colton will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Room, and welcome to my nightmare. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to Grue, and thank you so much, buddy, for coming back on.
I'm so glad I'm back. The first time was great, and we've just both been just all over the place. So I'm glad we made some time to make it happen.
Definitely. I've been looking forward for you to come on again.
Me too, especially after like Halloween. We have a lot to talk about. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
And speaking of Halloween, I saw you hosted your own Halloween bash, and it looked like it was so much fun. So
Yes, it was.
tell me about it.
That was my first. I'm surprised because it was my first time hosting an actual Halloween party. Like I host a lot of my other
Really?
parties, birthday and things like that, which usually seem like a Halloween party. Like I had a funeral one time for my birthday party. I had like obviously like a vampire's lair. I had like a horror thing, but like I was like, I've never done an actual Halloween party. And so actually one of my friends that Johnny knows,
Yeah.
his brother used to be at the same management company. Well, he still is a manager over there, but I was at Zero Gravity Management. And so his brother Rowan is a photographer and works with Johnny. And he was like, we want to host a Halloween party. And so we sat and met about it. And he's like, I thought you'd be a great host because it's just the way that your work ethic, the way you do things, it's like, I think we should do this. And so it's like, let's do it. And I was like, you know what? I was so excited because like I then came up with the theme Hell, because I've always wanted to do like a party called Hell because it's like fire themed,
Yeah.
devils, whatever. But like,
Well, yeah.
make it a little more generic, like, you know, Halloween. And yeah, we jumped straight into it. And I've had so much happening in October that I was like, should have I taken on a party? I probably shouldn't have, but I did anyways. So yeah, so put a lot of time into doing that, and along with everything else, and people seemed to really love it. People had a great time. Had one of my friends, Heather, her DJ's name's Bright Lights, and she came and DJ'd for us. And yeah, like it was really, really cool. It came together nicely.
I know, like I saw all your posts about it, and it looks like everyone was having a good time, and you had like live music and photo booths and drinks and food.
Yeah,
it was works.
It was all of it. That was fun. And I was of course Satan. I had this like pentagram carved into my chest. It was cool. And then I like, my hair is getting so long right now, and it's that since I just finished, you know, did Sex Lives, my hair had to be blonde the whole time. It finally is growing out, but the whole top is still blonde. So it's like I made them into pointy horns. It was fun.
Nice. And I saw like your Halloween costume and you playing a devil for your costume, and
yeah,
you definitely made the devil look hot. So
thank you. I was like, you know, gotta be a little spice, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be basic.
No, but the whole shirt, you know, your abs showing, and the pentagram on the chest. And
you know, at first it started out with it buttoned up to here, so you could just see that, and then towards the end of the night I was like, nah, it's we're unbuttoning this. So yeah,
you know, that's the only way to do it. Like if you're gonna play a devil, you have to make them look good, right?
I mean, yeah, you have to have some characteristics about you that are going to be a little devilish and a little sultry, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly. But you also dressed up as a ghost too, right? So you were a devil and a ghost.
I dressed up like a couple things. I dressed up like Dracula for this other thing that I did, and then I did Satan, and then I did, yeah, I did do a ghost because I was headed to the second to last Halloween party that I had to dress up for. And I was like, what do I dress up like? Like, I just don't know. And like, Kyle was like, just put a sheet over your head. And he thought it was funny, but I was like, I'm going to do that right now. I went and grabbed a sheet, cut eyes in it. I measured the eyes, cut them in there, and I was like, yep, ready to go. It was funny because like, I have not seen one person dress up like that this whole season. And so people were just like,
exactly.
people like loved it because it's so classic, you know? And it's fun. It's such a simple thing to do, but I think it's like overlooked because it is so simple. But
Oh yeah,
it was
of
probably one of my
course.
favorite things I dressed up like this year. Because I've been trying to figure out what I can do to beat my last year's costume. Or like I was that monkey that you wind up and he has the symbols, you know. That was like the best costume that I've done. And I you know, everyone like loved that one. And then so I'm like, what can I do better than that? So I still haven't come up with it just yet. Oh, but we did dress up like the Addams Family as if they were Barbie. Did you see that?
Oh my God, yes. I
Yeah.
forgot all about that. Yeah,
So there
yeah,
was
yeah.
I was Gomez, I had Morticia by my friend Andy, Kyle played Wednesday, we had Seth playing Pugsley, and then we had our other friend playing Uncle Fester, and we all dressed exactly how they do in pink scale. And so we did the Addams Family, but Barbie.
Oh my God, I love it. So
Yeah,
like every Halloween party you went to, you were someone else, right?
yeah, yeah. You got it. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of pressure on myself. Oh my gosh, but yeah, it's fun.
Every costume you had looked absolutely great. So,
Thank
you
you.
know,
Thanks so much.
being different costumes for different parties, like that that really worked. Like you
I
look
mean,
great in
when you
all of
hear
them.
about Halloween, thank you. When you hear about Halloween so much, it's like you kind of, you know, it's like going to an event on a red carpet. You like don't want the same thing twice. Obviously, it's like let's just make all
Sure.
these their own thing, you know. So it was eventful to say the least. This October, you know, having to dress up for so many things, but it was so fun.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
And you're also a big fan, right, of going to haunts like Halloween horror nights and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. I love. I went home for my brother's wedding, and we went to in Utah, and it's called Nightmare on 13th. We did that, and then also we got season passes to Halloween Horror Nights. So John
Nice.
and Casey, like you know, they all love that. So we all go. They went like 14 times, but I think me and Colin,
John's there like every single night when Halloween
well,
horror
he
nights opens.
usually this year he booked something in New York City, so he didn't get to go. He only got to go twice with us, and that was it, I think, or like maybe like
Okay.
six. But we went probably like 6 times, and you know it's fun. You get the season pass, so you can go with different groups of friends. So we went
Well,
with
yeah,
Lance one
exactly.
time, yeah, with like Casey and them several times. Our friend and you know, so it was nice. Like we went like 6 times. It was nice. Like you can go on and off whenever you want to, and go with different groups of friends that want to go. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
I still never been there yet to Halloween horror nights. Like
I cannot believe it. We talked
it's
about this the
crazy,
last time we
isn't it?
talked. I was like, you need to go. You have to.
And I still never did it. I'm doing this to myself. Next Halloween, I'm definitely doing it. Like
Hold yourself to it. You
I'll,
have to.
I'll meet you and John there.
Do it. And then also my Halloween party will be happening around that time. So you can knock those
That's
both
true.
out.
Oh, awesome, awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for Halloween horror nights, like what was the best house, do you think? I mean, I know they had the killer clowns and everything.
They did. They've done killer clowns before. My favorite was it's called Scarecrow, the Scarecrow. And
Okay.
it's cool to me because usually all their stuff is like IP, they have IP in it. It's like, you know, Halloween, The Exorcist, you know, Killer Clowns, they have, you know, whatever, like, you know. So this one was an original concept. And I think those are the scariest ones because you're not you don't know what to expect or what you expect to see. Because if you
Hmm.
go to Michael Myers' house, you're like, I'm gonna see Michael everywhere.
Well, yeah, of
So
course.
yeah, so the Scarecrow one was really cool because it's yeah, it was just fresh, it was new, visual, and that was like the first time that like, I think Horror Nights did something like that.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so it was that was probably my favorite one. Yeah.
We were talking about Halloween horror nights, and you were talking about like the scarecrow house.
Yeah, I was just saying that's my favorite because it was just original idea, and that's something I think new for Horror Nights, and I think that was one of a lot of my friends' favorites is the Scarecrow. So yeah, it was fun, so fun.
Awesome. And so like what horror films did you watch during Halloween season?
Um, Watched Scream, of course, because you know it's my favorite, so I have to watch that one. We Oh my gosh, there was some new, Barbarian, which was fun.
Yes.
I did not see Pearl yet. I want to, because I thought X was great. What else did I see that's like newer? I mean, I feel like it's always a struggle. You're like, okay, every night we're gonna watch something spooky, and you get on and like you see all the stuff you've seen. It's like, oh, let's watch something new, and then you can't find anything new, and I'm just like going through. Seriously, we're like, what are we gonna watch? So I'm trying to think what that's. I mean, I guess it's more like TV shows. Like I'm watching the new Chucky, and
Yes.
so started watching Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, which is cool.
Okay.
The Dahmer show, which was,
That was really good.
that was
Yeah.
really, really great. So I think that's kind of was not as much movies. But like Halloween H2O, stuff like that. Like there's certain of my favorite ones, Bride of Chucky, that I love to watch. But the rest of them, I think, because I didn't have a ton of time to like watch TV. We did project and do a movie night in my backyard and watch Hocus Pocus 2 when that came out.
Oh my
Um,
God. Yes.
it was really, really fun. So got a bunch of friends over. We like had snacks and drinks and like projected the film on the sheet, and like everyone had blankets and sat down and watched it. It was really, really cute. So
Uh,
it was fun.
I seen you doing that like a few different times. Like you always
Yeah.
put like a horror movie up on the screen and you have your
Yeah.
friends over and
Yep. I used to do that a lot in my old house, and I moved here and we've done it like twice because we usually do it in October, but yeah, I need to do it more out throughout the year like I used to. But yeah, so this month was just like literally crazy. I just didn't have a ton of time to do extra things like that.
yeah.
But it was so fun. Yeah.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
know it actually looks really, really nice. Like it looks really fun. You have like a big space and a really big television.
It's fun. I have a projector, so I project the
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
wall, and it's just really it's so cozy and cute and nostalgic, and it's like going to a drive-in. It just feels it's just
That's what it
a
looks
really
like.
fun
Yeah.
thing to do. Yeah, it's really fun.
And how are your kids doing, Chucky and Tiffany?
Oh,
I saw you have both of them now.
I do have both now. Yes, I was like, well, because I waited for a while to get Tiffany because I was waiting on a specific Tiffany, the one from the Bride of Chucky, and they said that they had her, and we were like waiting on her to come in. They were like, should be in next month, and she wasn't. So next month, and then finally they were like, I don't know when she's coming. Do you want the one from Seed of Chucky instead? And I was like, yeah, let's just do that one instead. So now I have them both from Seed of Chucky, but my goal is to get the ones from the Bride because those are my favorite.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I think I remember last time you were telling me like out of all the films for Chucky, like The Bride of Chucky was your
One of my
was your
favorite.
favorite one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one out of the Chucky's franchise because it's just
Mhm.
like it's the kills are innovative. It's fun. It's also scary. Obviously introduce the bride, like her turning into Tiffany is just such an iconic situation. Jennifer
Oh,
Tilly is amazing. I love her so much.
I love Jennifer Tilly. Like she is so good. Like she's great in the television series and the films.
Yeah,
She's amazing in, and
yeah,
you never know. She might be in one of your films.
she might. I mean, that could always be a possibility. I met her one time, and she's just so awesome. And um, yeah, you never know. You never
Yeah,
know. Like
yeah,
with
exactly.
yeah, with my new movie, I have definitely my cast wish list. We have some certain people that we want as certain roles. So yeah, maybe she'll be one of them. Never know. Or a
Hey,
voice.
hey, you never know. I mean, Jennifer Tilly likes doing horror, so why
Does
not?
she? Yeah. Yeah, no. I feel like you put it out there, you put out the energy out there, and things happen. They just happen.
Right?
And
Yeah.
also, my agent at CAA when I was there, he's so helpful with casting, and like I've met so many great people now that like it's just about connecting with people that have you know can make the vision come to life. It's just a big old collaboration. So yeah,
Sweet, sweet.
yeah.
And you directed a horror movie that would be coming out, and it's called the the Bell Keeper.
Bellkeeper. Yep.
And how did you wind up getting involved with the film?
So the first feature I did, Snowfalls, comes out. I found the date out January 17th, so it comes out soon. Thank goodness. So I was like, the process of that whole post thing was insane. So we'll definitely have to like, keep you updated with that, and
Oh,
you'll have to watch
definitely,
it.
yeah.
The Bellkeeper. you know, my friend Mike Manning, he approached me, and he was attached to be in the film, and he said, hey, my friends that are producing this are looking for a director. I thought you'd be great. Do you want to read the script? Let me know what you think. So I read the script, and I really loved it because it's cool. It's like a genre bending sort of like, it's a slasher, you think it is at least, and then it becomes like a possession demon movie. And so I thought it was really fun. It was, you know, went straight into pre-production when I agreed to do it. We shot for like 15 days, and then I started editing, went into post, and it was, so now it's like, it's completely done. I think it is premiering. We're having our big premiere in January as well, and I think it comes out in February. So yeah, it was about a year, because we shot it in February, so it's about a year process. It should have been quicker. There was a lot of bumps that we ran into with certain areas of post-production that could have gone a lot faster. But sadly it did not. But you know, everything happens for a reason. So
well, yeah, exactly.
So one will come out in February, one will come out in January, one in February. So we'll have them back to back.
Damn, you got a big 2023
should be
film.
Yeah, and then we're gonna start filming. I've started releasing promos that Lance Bass has produced with me for my sketch movie.
Yes.
So we are going into production for that at the beginning of next year. So that'll be something that it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year, busy, but good.
I see that you're planting the seeds for a really big 2023.
Yeah, let's fingers crossed.
Yeah,
it will. It's gonna be great.
and for this horror movie, I was just talking about the bell keeper. How did you guys wind up getting? I mean, you got an amazing crew, amazing cast for it. Like of course Mike, and you got Bonnie Aarons, who's the creepy nun. I mean, I absolutely love Bonnie, and you got Reed the Miller is in it, and a UFC icon, Randy
Couture. I know. Yes. It's so, when I came on board, Randy was already attached, and Bonnie was already attached, and so but like they didn't know who the director was yet. So as soon as I was officially on, I had Zooms with Randy to like introduce. We talked about the vision of the movie, of the characters. Talked to Bonnie. She's just amazing. It was so great to work with on set and off set. She's one of my biggest like supporters. I'm one of her biggest as well. She's phenomenal. The most amazing, unique look, and I love her. She's phenomenal. And just to work with someone as iconic as like the nun, you know, it's really great. And and then we did a casting call. So we sent out sides. We had a bunch of my friend did the casting for it. Got a bunch of auditions sent in, and that's when I started to fill in the rest of the cast. Like at that same time, I was overseeing, you know, visuals for locations. We were doing like, you know, for all the cast members, because those are the only ones cast so far. So there's like 10 other cast members that need to be done. Locations, wardrobe, like makeup. I was attaching all the crew that I wanted to work with. And then we started, our auditions started to come in. And so we watched all of them, narrowed it down. And I felt, as soon as I saw Reed's, I was like, I'm in love with him. He looks so young though. But when he took his shirt off, I was like, oh, he has a full chest of hair.
Oh my God, you see all the chest hair he has? Yeah.
I had no idea. And I was like, oh, he could play. He's, you know, he's like 22. And I said, oh, he could totally play this. So, and then ended up casting Kathy Marks, who's one of my good friends. And she was in my Killer Date short with Mike. And so she came in it. And then I found Capri and Alexis, who are phenomenal. Like, we're so lucky to get them. And so the main core group of friends just all fell into place. And their dynamic is literally so amazing. And I can't wait for you guys to see it, because it just feels so. And for a horror film, sometimes you can go into that campy realm, like where, I mean, I feel like every horror film has a camp to it.
Oh,
like
definitely.
With the dialogue and everything that was in the script, my other friend Luke Jensen came on and he did a revision for it and like made it feel so much better. Because at first the characters just felt so one-dimensional. All of them sounded like the same person. So he came on, worked his magic, and they all had their own voice and own character and whatever. And so casting the people who we cast for, like, it totally makes sense. And they just brought Kathleen Kenny, who plays with the main like lead. She's genius. Like, she was like that, like diamond in the rough, finding her, because she's just so natural, so amazing. And she now, after this film, I hired her as the lead of my new film I directed in July called Sorry Charlie. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, so it's a 2-cast thing. It's like The Strangers. It's like
Yeah.
it's based on a true story, takes place in a contained location. She's the lead actress. There's only one other person who's the killer, and she's a help call worker. So there's other characters but on her phone. You never see anyone else except for them. So it's really fun. But she's just, for the fact that she can carry a film on her own like that and literally just like that's another one I can't wait for you to see. I'm in post-production for that. I'm about like
Oh, wow.
3/4 done editing. So I've been editing that during October. I've literally been like finishing the post-production for Bellkeeper, which is done. We were in like pre-production for all the sketch things that I shot with Lance to release those, obviously balancing all the Halloween stuff within there. And then and then we had just barely finished like Sex Lives shooting that too. So that comes out. Yeah, it's been a busy time, but I'm really excited for you to see some of these features because I feel it's crazy. I've spent so much time directing these things, and none of them are like officially out yet. It's kind of crazy. It's like, this is so weird. But yeah, come January, I'm excited for people to see.
Wow. So come 2023, there's going to be a lot of you going around behind the lens and in front of the lens.
Yeah, because in front of the lens, because I'm also in Snowfalls, that first feature I directed. So yeah, and my death scene is quite a sight to see. So just you wait. One day, I already spoiled it now. Now you know I die.
Well, I mean, I don't want to see you die because you're a really awesome person, but I'm looking forward to the movie and your scene.
But I do I die naked, so it'd be special.
That is special then. Like,
no, it's you'll just have to see. But it's not towards the end of the movie, so still there's a bunch of it. It's very fun.
You know, it's funny though, like you said that and now like all the people are gonna want to see it just to see you naked.
Seriously. I mean, it was funny because when we read the script, he wrote that because it's based on, I don't know if I told you the story of Snowfalls. I probably did last time we talked because we had mentioned it. But regardless, a group of friends go to this cabin, they get snowed in, the power goes out, starts to get really cold, so hypothermia is setting in. There's like sleep deprivation, which is causing like delusions and like hallucinations. But when people go through hypothermia and they're in the middle of snow and they're so cold, your mind switches and tricks yourself to thinking that you're actually warm. And so that's kind of what happens is my body thinks I'm hot and I'm out in the middle of the snow and just take all my clothes off. But people do that actually in real life. They've done that.
Well, you know, I have to ask this, were you really in the freezing cold naked?
I was.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I really was. It was literally like negative something degrees. That was the day that my family and uncles decided to visit set too. So I come walking out like I got all my makeup done to make me look like I'm like blue and frozen, and I'm like just naked except for like, you know, I obviously had like a sock on because I'm
of course,
face down, dick in the snow. I was like, cool, like laying there. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And also since I'm directing it, I'm like, okay, here we go, and action. Like it was fun. It was fun, but it was really, 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 really cold.
Well, since you were the one directing it, I would have did a one and done. Like I wouldn't want to be naked in the freezing cold weather, like for shot after shot.
Oh, well, it was like, I think we did 3 total, but I remember being like, this is so crazy. It's so freezing. But I was like, we have to do it. And like, because I remember we had a conversation when the script was written that like the death scene, I think he had boxers on, and it said like he's in his boxers, like whatever. And we were talking about it, like it wasn't my idea actually. It was like I was talking with my DP and my producer, and he was like, I love all this scene. But he's like, I feel like, you know, because actually I think Luke said I was contemplating on doing it naked because that's what usually happens, but blah, blah, blah. And then we were like, to make it more effective and to make it feel more real and like whatever, you should do it naked. I was like, let's do it. And that was that.
Okay, hey, there you go. Whatever works for the film, right?
Yep, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do. Oh my gosh.
And for sketch and the bell keeper, like is there any funny or cool behind the scenes stories that happened while you were filming the both things?
Oh my goodness. Well, the bellkeeper, because we were in the midst of the end of COVID still, we had to like have all the
Yeah.
COVID like officers, procedures. Literally our main ensemble cast is like 5 of these kids, so it's like we had to get COVID tested every day, every whatever, blah, 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 all these things. Literally we're about a week into filming and one of the main characters got COVID, and we literally had to like switch our schedule around like that same day. It was a whole thing, but anyways, he was only out. It was like ended up being like this false thing. Only had like 3 days. It was, but the funny story is when we had our table read, we were sitting there. Everyone was there. We were like, everyone had a test right before we went there, so we're there. And Bonnie comes in, and she's like, she comes in with this spray, this like silver whatever spray that's supposed to be like really good for like germs or whatever. And she's like, open your mouth. She's like spraying it in everyone's mouth, and they're like, she was just like, didn't care, and it was amazing. She's just like, nope, here you go. She's like spraying on her hands like everywhere. It was just really hilarious. And yeah, she was amazing. I mean, Chaz Bono was in it too. He was great to work with. Just developing all the visuals and the special effects with everyone was so fun. I'm trying to think of like some fun. I mean, the whole thing was fun. I
Oh yeah.
really try to like bring a very calm and like open, inviting like energy on the set, because that's what I try to observe things like on bigger sets or like whatever sets I'm on, like when I do that Disney movie, like seeing how the director treats people, how these people act, how that acts, blah blah blah. And so my main thing is like, it's easy for people in a position of power to like fall into in like ego sense. They're like, they just kind of act like that. So I'm like, I want everyone to feel comfortable. I can have fun with my friends and joke, but I'm also have told my DP what I want, how I want the shot. So we're setting that up. I have a good time. Also trying to make everyone comfortable. And then we go straight in. It's work hat, you know what I mean? But I think people need to feel comfortable in their environment and what they're doing and how they're working. And so I feel like for the most part, that whole production was pretty smooth sailing. Except for one day when we were shooting in the middle of the night, it was freezing cold. And we were also shooting a lot of action. Action takes a lot of time. And so we were trying to like figure out the order of this action stuff. And it was like getting colder. And it was just like, that was the only time that things just kind of were a little off sync. And then we went to dinner and then we came back and it was all good. So literally that's a great ask to have like I guess to have a set that just literally had like 30 minutes of something that was a little off, but the rest of it was really just effortless. So
Sweet.
yeah.
I mean, you're always filming in the freezing cold. Like, what's going on with that?
Well, I'm also, it's true, I guess. Well, I don't know what's up with that, but like, thank goodness we were in Utah. Utah would have been snowing, but here it was just cold, but I actually functioned better in the cold. If I was like walking in the
Really?
heat, I overheat and I get like, I'm a really warm-blooded person. So it's like,
yeah,
if I'm like in the sun and I'm working specifically, I'm like, okay. Like I'm like dying. And so for me to be able to like layer up and like work, that's like how I'd rather work in general. So
oh wow, okay.
yeah.
Well, at least you had clothes on this time in the cold. So that's
I?
good.
Could you imagine? Just like directing, like walking around.
I remember you turn around like Bonnie, Reed, Mike. They'll be like, "Is Colton really walking around naked on behind the camera? Like what?"
Oh my gosh, me and Reed ended up clicking, and like we see, I see him like pretty often, not too often, but like when he comes over, like I just love that cast so much, and they were so amazing. And yeah, me and Reed bonded so much, and he's just such a inspiring person himself. He's so creative and driven and motivated and super talented. Like his acting is next level, and so I can't wait for you to see all of the other performances, but
Oh yeah,
specifically Reed and Kathleen, because they're the two like leads together that kind of lead the whole movie. Their dynamics is just crazy and amazing. Yeah.
Well, Reed seems like a lot of fun. Like I always see like his posts and his videos, and he's always full of energy. Like he always looks like he's having fun.
He's so much fun. He's also like such a professional, you know what I mean? So it's like, and also he taps into the special thing that him and Kathleen and everyone else brought to this as well, was that like, and like another thing that a horror film does besides writing that campy line is that like typically people ignore the real life stuff that's happening. Like if someone's brother just gets murdered in front of you, they're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, they run away, and then you like never see them again. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the emotion of how that would traumatize you, the actor that's their brother is like, what do we do next? You guys, where do we go? You know what I'm saying? So like they kind of just like pretend like that didn't happen or something. So that was one really special thing that these actors brought to it, is that like they have that emotion and like that deeper connection to each one of the characters, so that it really, you feel for in general, you know what I mean? And it's nice to have some emotion like that in a horror film. I remember one of my producing friends, he produced like X-Men and like the Transformers movies, so you know, all of his advice that's very like important to me. And he was like, Colton, your stuff's amazing. It's so stylistic, and like it's amazing what you're doing. He's like, but the biggest advice, you need to do something that has heart and emotion into it, because like you can do as many stylistic whatever, but like what's going to make people trust you and believe in you as a director is like, they want to see that you can direct emotion and have heart in something that you're doing, even if it is horror. And so the first Snowfalls has some of that, like for sure.
Okay.
But this one definitely is a cool way of like seeing a lot of emotion in a horror film, you know? So that really stuck with me. And I try to do that with like most of my projects now. It's like, have, even no matter how stylistic I go, how like crazy I want to get with the vision, I want to make it relatable in a way that, you know, you can relate, like, so it has heart to it, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you said sketch, you still have to film yet, right?
Yeah. So we filmed promo. We had like a marketing plan where it's like, let's do 4 promos, killing celebrities, introduce audiences. I was like, you know what? I think it's so great. And I was like, well, when JoJo Siwa died, her like fans were like, oh my God, they're like, this is traumatizing. I did not expect to see JoJo Siwa get splattered by a train. So that was really fun. She was amazing to work with as well. And Lance just believes in this project so much. And so what we're doing is creating a fan base, getting people used to our killer Nip, showing the style. It's going to be a lot darker and a lot more cinematic, but it's like, we made these like for TikTok. It's like, hey, you know, and so that is the beginning of the wave of us into the production of the movie. It's just like, let's, you know, this day and age in 2022, it's like build a sort of fan base, get people used to what you're doing, go in the right rooms with the right people, and knock it out. And like, I feel so strongly about this movie, and it's just gonna be really special. So I did have a fear of releasing it because then people know what we're doing, but at the same time, it's like you either live in fear and you don't do it, or you do it and it basically copyrights itself, because the concept will boil down to saying me and Lance have created this, and just go on making it, you know? Because otherwise you're just sitting there just figuring out how to make it instead of make some moves happen to get it done, you know? And that's one thing that I feel like I do. Like when I put my mind to something, it's just like, I'm gonna do it, you know? So I feel really, really good about it, and the choices we made, and I feel excited. So.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And like, what inspired you to write the film Sketch, and, you know, write it and make it?
So that happened like probably 4 years ago. I shot a proof of concept 3 years ago as well. And my pitch deck, yeah, it's a really, Matt Shively's in the opening scene. He dies. It's like this really cool horror with the big giant bear trap. It's really, really cool. But how it all spawned is I was sitting actually with my friend Jeanette McCurdy. That's when we did 8 Bodies, and we were sitting there, and I was like, you know, because we did these creative meetings together. We would sit there, she would like come up with ideas and do her stuff, I'd do mine, just like, you know, it was nice. And I was like thinking about cartoons and the way that media portrays cartoon violence, the way that they, you know, Wile E. Coyote gets like smashed in this giant bear trap, and he gets out and it's like, doo, doo, doo. Oh, it's like cricket, or the dynamite stick blows their face up and like their eyes are here. And there's, if that happened, if like physics were applied to that, they would be like cut in half, blown up, all these things. And I'm like,
well, yeah, of course.
And so I was thinking about doing a half and half. This is how it all spawned. The idea in the first place, do a half and half of a human and a cartoon. So the bear trap hits the coyote, that he looks like that, smashes the humans, boom, cut in half, blood everywhere. So I just thought that was cool. And I'm like, you know what? It would be a really cool movie. So I wrote the first opening short idea that I shot, and that which led into a feature. So yeah.
Okay. And how did Lance actually get to be part of everything with the film?
So that other film that I directed called Killer Date, it's a short film that went to like a bunch of the festivals and did really well. We're actually like talking about adapting that into a feature. But
oh, that's awesome.
Lance came to our premiere opening at Screamfest.
Yeah.
And I was already friends with Lance and his husband before then. but it
Okay.
was very like a friend basis situation. So when he saw Sketch, I mean not Sketch, when he saw Killer Date, he was like, oh my gosh, he's like, I loved it. He's like, the style, like just the story was great. He's like, what else do you have? He's like, I would love to meet up and talk business and see what you have going on, because he owns his own production company and they're developing projects as well. So me and him and Michael got together, had breakfast, we talked about, he wanted to hear about all my projects, and he just resonated with Sketch. He's like, I think this is genius. I think that this is something that is so special, I've never seen. A lot of people have said that, but I was like, again, like trying to keep it very hush.
Well, yeah, of course.
There is something in the horror genre that you haven't seen, you know? And so he came on board. He saw like the stuff I had already shot and developed for it. We came up with like plans of people who want to get involved. We had several like meetings, a bunch of things. And then we're like, you know what? I saw that Pooh Bear horror thing. And I was like, I know that has like built-in IP already, but what they're doing is creating like a fan base for their horror film. I was like, why don't we do something similar? Even though the film's not done yet, to do something with these celebrities, create it, start creating buzz, create a fan base, create something that people are familiar with, go straight into making the movie. Obviously you're not going to see it for maybe like 8-9 months to a year.
Well, yeah, of course.
But you will know that it's coming. You can still release things during that and to keep the fan base there. But like, regardless, it's something unique enough that I think people are going to want it. So, you know, that's how he became involved.
Oh man, okay, that's great, man. I love that.
I know, I love him. He's such a great person, Lance. So
yeah, he seems really cool.
Yeah, I know he's super great, like down to earth and just like a really sweet person. So
nice. And what did you love best about being on set for The Sex Lives of College Girls? I know you probably can't talk about your episode or anything, but like, what did you love about it?
I think I'm in 3 episodes. I'm in episode 1, 3, and 5. And
okay.
I just loved, like, that was one of the coolest experiences for me, because when I got cast for it, I didn't know the extent of this character. He's like one of the new like heads of this frat at that Theta. And we basically take over the new frat because they kicked the other guys out. And so we like hate the main girls because they're the ones who were responsible for it. And it was just cool because when, again, my hair was blonde when I auditioned for it. So they're like, is this hair still blonde? Because we want that. So I had to dye it blonde for 5 months in a row, which of course, Warner Brothers paid for, which is great. But like, it was still something that I'd never had my hair that color for that long. The actors were amazing. Like the first times, even just coming on set and rehearsing and just it was just like, it felt so, and again, it was cool. Like I was observing it as like an actor here, but also as a director, I'm like taking in everything. Like, how are these directors working? Like their relationships with their producers, with the writers, like how are the actors, being treated? And it was just so cool. We shot in Seattle too. So we all flew there. We got to work together and like had some really great bonding experiences there. And so I don't know. The whole thing was a really great experience. It kind of feels like a blur at this point because it was like on and off for 4 months. And I'm like, holy crap, like that all happened, like sometimes like, I tried to absorb as much as I could. But it felt like a dream because it's such an amazing experience to work on the Warner Brothers lot, like for 4 months.
Oh, sure.
Like, you get there and you're just like, wow, like I'm in Hollywood at Warner Brothers in these sound stages shooting a show that I'm now on. It's insane. And like, I just have to remember and appreciate those little things you have. Cause like, I think that's one thing me and my friends have been talking about is we get harder and harder on ourselves. We're like, what are we doing? Blah, 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 blah. But it's like, we forget the things that we've done to get to this place and these other accomplishments. It's like, being on television in general, some people wish they could do that their whole life. And it's like, I have done that before, like even before on Disney, like in some other things, but like this, it's like, and I think that you start to, your goals and your bars start to get higher and higher, that you start to lose appreciation for it. And like, you have to like be better at knowing that. Cause it's like, you shouldn't lose that appreciation. I just think we get harder on ourselves. So I'm really, really excited. I'm excited for people to see it. I'm not sure. I went and did some ADR for it. So I saw a couple scenes.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously I don't know how it all turned out, but I'm excited to see. So
yeah, well, I really want to see it too. I would love to see you acting and whenever the show comes out, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It comes out November 17th, comes out in 15 days. So
well then I definitely will be watching just to see you.
Thank you. Well, just make sure you have HBO Max because that's where it is.
Okay, okay, done.
Good, done. I'm excited. You'll have to let me know what you think after you watch it.
Okay, sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
I definitely will. And I see you've been hitting the gym a lot now. Like you look great. So
Thank you.
how many days a week are you doing it now?
I mean, I work out 7 days a week, but like I feel like after
7.
Halloween,
Wow.
yeah, I do. Well, there's maybe one day I take off, but not usually. Like I'll do like some workout, but I am definitely bulkier than I have been. I'm
Okay.
gonna start leaning up again because I feel like I'm lifting heavier now, but I'm
Yeah.
also, October was full of just like drinking and like eating and like I was like I don't like eat a ton but I still watch all that kind of stuff, but still
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're just not in a normal like your structure. So now that November's here, going straight into like just like really like hitting on more like toning up, but like I really feel, yeah, like bulking was a good thing that I wanted to do. Now I'm gonna like not lose size, but I just want to like sizzle, chisel myself a little bit.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but yeah, it's that's like my happy place. It's like when I'm stressed, I go to the gym, which is if you have any extra time, I go to the gym. I went to the gym today, and then we came home and took the dogs on, like we put them on and like ran all the way around the block, so they get their
Nice.
exercise, we get our cardio, so it's good.
Yeah, it's perfect. I
Mhm.
mean, go to the gym and then you go out running with the dogs. So like
I know it's a perfect
that's
way to give them
yeah, it's
exercise,
great.
get stars. Yeah, it's nice.
And, I will end it with this is where if anyone doesn't know, where can fans follow you at?
I think all across all platforms, like my Instagram, my TikTok, YouTube, it's all, Twitter, it's all Colton Tran, just like ColtonTran. Um, and yeah, there's one thing I want to start doing on my YouTube channel is like start my anthology series again. It's called Scary Tale Ending. They're like these,
Ooh,
they're dark fairy tales in a way where so yeah, follow all of them if you want to. And there's new stuff coming up, with updates with Sketch. You can find links to that on my Instagram and everything. And there's gonna be some fun stuff coming up.
definitely. I've been seeing all the stuff you've been putting out for Sketch. I've been loving it.
Thank
I
you.
was like, oh
So
wow, what is this? And then you get curious and you keep on watching it. And
good. We have one more coming out, I think, in a couple days of Matt
okay,
Shank. Yeah, so that'll be fun.
wow, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to all of your stuff that's coming out.
Me too. I'm excited. It's like, again, like I'm just like trying to absorb it all happen and like really just put my all into them all, because all of a sudden Sex Live's gonna premiere and then it's just done, and all of a sudden Snowfalls comes out and then whatever, then stuff, but then you're making new stuff in between, so just like taking it in, having a great time with it, and just like I don't know, I'm super excited. So I'm glad that you follow my stuff and like that you love it, and
Oh, of
yeah, it means a
course.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And when more stuff starts coming out, I would love I would love for you to come back on. I always love talking to you, so
100%. I mean,
I would love for you to come back on when your stuff starts coming out.
100%. When that happens and we like want to talk more after these features come out, after you've watched them, we can definitely talk through some of them. And yeah.
Definitely, buddy, definitely. Well,
Perfect.
thank you so much for taking time out of your night coming back on the show. Like I said, it's
Absolutely.
always fun talking to you.
And
I love all of your stuff, all of your work, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it all.
thank you. It means so much, seriously. Like, because we create this stuff so that people can resonate and love it and connect with it. So that means a lot.
Awesome, buddy. Okay, well, definitely have a good night. And I'm sorry that my laptop decided to restart right in the middle of an interview, which
That's
pissed
totally
me off.
no, it's fine. It'll cut easily. It'll cut easily. Oh my gosh. Well, again, it's so great talking to you, and we will be talking again soon via Instagram and also back on your show.
Definitely, bud.
All right. Well,
Okay.
you have an awesome night.
All right, buddy. You too.
Hey, bye.
Bye.